Hi everyone. This is Alashola Omio. Abs.
Yeah, Mom.
Let me just share it, please.
I will do.
Yeah.
I will do.
Love you, baby.
Love you, Mom.
Man, love you, baby. Yeah, in this video, sorry, this is Alashola Omio. In this video, I would be talking about a topic, quite interesting one. I've actually titled it "Come on, Marry." It's more of a slogan. It's about marriage fraud, and but I mean that's not a big thing per se. But the reason why I'm talking about this here today is because there's a lot of use of magic as to and people that are doing this sort of they call it business actually, but their victim don't know. It's a for them it's a business. You would actually think that you found your spouse, the person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, and so therefore, but I mean you are the only one that's thinking this way. They are not, to them you are just a tool, a means to an end. So 1 minute, just bear with me. I'm going to try to share this video on my other platform, which is Alashola. 1 minute. Abby, what's happening? Let me share, call me.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, I'm just telling my my daughter to share this broadcast on my other platform. Anyway, compliment of the season. I know. I mean, it's at that time of the year. Even though I'm not a Christian, but to have fun and enjoy this period of the year is. I mean, for me, it's not about if you're Christian or you're not. It's a special time because I mean, we get together with our family. People come all over, our friends. Just to spread the love, the festive period, and so therefore it's for me it's a special time as well. So a compliment of the season, guys. It's I'm here in London, UK, and not traveling, and I'm just gonna stay home with my my tribe and just eat as much as I can. And hopefully hopefully I wouldn't have stomach ache with eating all this food all over the place. Anyway, it's lovely having you guys here. This is Alashola Omio. Like I was saying earlier on, in this video, I'll be talking about especially it's something that's in trend. It's been it's been there now for quite a while, but like I said earlier on this video, I mean I try not to just come here and talk about every whatever it is that's out there, but when he has some sort of magic, which are called spirituality involved, which means it's not just a normal occurrence, it's something else has been added into it. And then I'll come here and I'll talk about it, especially if I I've had experience or people that are close to me, something like this has happened to them. Hello, my brother Juma, lovely to see you. Compliment of the season. I was looking for you. How are you? Lovely to see you, my brother. I love you so much. Oh God, I'm sorry I couldn't come out yesterday. Like I said earlier on, I'm not a Christian, but this time of the year is a special time, and also so you don't have to be a particular religion before you enjoy it, because we have a family to get together this time of year. People come together just to spread the love, have fun, just be grateful for being here. Good evening, ma. Lovely to see you. Compliment of the season, ma. Anyway, as I was saying in this I'll be talking about, it's more of a slogan, the term "come and marry," because that's the bait. That's what they would want you to believe. That's what you actually think you are getting into. Like I said, the reason why I'm talking about it is there's a lot of use of jazz, in people that are doing these things, and then so when it's coming from that angle, then I'll tend to come out here and I'll talk about it. You see, lovely to see you, ma. You see, so the way it works out is, I think the reason why it's such a popular way of defrauding people is because, we all want either old, young, or black, white, male, female. We all want that. We want that special person in our lives, that will complete us, that would love us unconditionally, and the person that would probably going to spend the rest of our life with. We all sort of dream of this, even if I mean, we might not achieve that during this lifetime, but at the back of our mind, I believe I knew that it was like that for me growing up. You want that man, that would just love me, with all my whatever that I came up with. I'm strong-headed. I can be very, very stubborn. That wouldn't mind me, stomping my feet around the house. When I got in one of my moods, that would still love me regardless. That whatever, everything, even love more than my mom or my dad. So we sort of have this dream of desire to have this special person in our lives, that would just be there with us, through the journey of life, and I believe it's sort of similar to the topic that we talked about the other day. I think that was the sex magic, but this one is even more deeper, because the reason why there is they would come with you to you with a promise of love. Usually the way this pan out is they probably get to meet you through friends, or maybe social media, or maybe even neighbor or whatever. They would sort of will have see you, and usually they would know maybe through talking to friends, or okay, an example, if someone is on look on your profile on social media, sometimes we all tend to put stuff like married or single or divorce. Some people will put complicated, and then say someone is trying to to use in this way. They will want to know all information about you, everything about you, and then so that they can come in through where the area that they think that you are vulnerable, you see. And most of the time is when, this topic that I'm talking about today is about if they sense or they knew that you are actually, someone that's looking for, a husband or a boyfriend or a wife or girlfriend, and they will try to come in to fit in this empty space in your life. They will come with the promise of them trying to be. I'm going to give you an example. Actually, I would give my own what happened to me. That was years back. I would order, example of people that are close, not, through the work that I do, the people that have been defrauded in this way, the reason why I'm doing this today is because, when you say you defraud people, if you take money from somebody, maybe it's like a bank fraud or something. I'm not that it's bad, it's a crime. But to me, it's not as bad as this. Because here, it's like someone, they're playing with somebody's life, somebody's emotion, and someone, they could kill themselves because of it. You see, so for me, this is serious. That I always look at people that will do this, like they're, very heartless, wickedness, that because when you're dealing with a human being here, our emotions, the way we think, everything about, we all around this, so if you're going to use them like that and just dispose them off, and what, because you've taken off that thing, and maybe they've now gone ahead to kill themselves, so for me, it's really, really, big crime. That's why I said I'll come out here and talk about it. Okay, when you're saying that, okay, some people will say, oh, Allah Shala, but this is not new. It's happening before, from the beginning of time. It's probably going to continue to be like that. Okay, you might be right. But the area that I think is not right is when people are now using jazz to accomplish that. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So that if you find yourself, say something similar is happening to you, because what happened is, from when they start to operate in your life, even though the stuff that you are doing, stuff that you normally wouldn't do, you would be, thinking, oh, it's part of the relationship. you find yourself you compromise with things that you would never even have done like that before. You see, you're giving stuff that you don't even have yourself. Some will be borrowing money. I'll come and talk about this. Going into debt. Just trying to because they're just there to take. So and when you find yourself in situation like this, it doesn't matter if you're a man. It happens to men as well. You see, if you're a man and you find out that this is what's happening to you, then by all means just get in touch with here in Alashola. I'll tell you the reason why I said I can sit down here today and I'll talk about it. Recently, from the tour that I did to Oshogbo, there was something similar like that happened, that a female met a male. However, it wasn't even, that was not the plan of everything. Anyway, what I found out is, after the trip, after we came back here, this female, things that she would never even have done before, she just sort of changed overnight. Someone that you barely even know, and you are saying you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person. Before I even know anything that was happening, she's already sending thousands and thousands of euros, to this person. They're going to, build a house together. They're going to, I'm like, what's going on here? So at the same time, as much as you want to be protective, you also have to, because, we're all adults here. If this person is saying that's what they want to do, Alashola, I know you care about me so much, but this is what I want to do. You see, regardless of the fact that, you're thinking the only person that would know is themselves. But how can you meet someone within a space of 2 weeks of being back, and you're sending thousands and thousands of euro, you want to build a house together, they already pay for an apartment, and before spending all this money, and as we speak, she's probably over there, So I have to, at that point, I have to look from the distance. You see, I still care, but she told me that that's what she wants to do, and so when stuff like this is happening around you, and the bottom line of it, and then you're thinking, okay, what do I do here? What can you do than to pray for for what's right? The way this thing work out is, maybe usually maybe if you are maybe someone introduced them to you, or maybe somehow they got talking. Usually, most of the time, 90% of the time, someone would have introduced them, or one way or the other, they, got to know you, but they would have prior information about you. Not that it's not just like an encounter. It could happen like that, but they're going to really work themselves. But usually, the way these people work out is, they will have a bit of info about you, so that, because if they don't, because they're going to need to come to you with what they think you are looking for. That's the catch. And they would now package themselves to be that thing that they you are looking for. You see, so usually it's probably someone that introduced you to them, or someone gave them your info without you knowing, and they now came to you to chat you up. You think, oh my God, but usually there's some of them that, from when you have intercourse, that was because they would have used something to sleep with you. That's when stuff start to change rapidly. But it's not all cases. You see, there are some that are, all they need to do is your picture, and from when they get talking, sometimes when we think we're in early time of relationship, or whatever it is we want to call it, where usually very happy time, you're just a dreamy time. Some of the information that we would normally even have given up in before, we will be talking about it, such as people will talk about their past relationship, their ex-wife, why they are no longer with the ex-wife, blah blah blah. If you're female, you're probably going to be talking about your ex-husband or your ex-boyfriend, the reason what he did. They'll be asking what he did, why you guys are not together, And from all of this information, we would, most cases, will provide most of the information they're going to later use to defraud us, So that's why, like I said earlier on, that this is such a very delicate subject, because some people can say to me, oh, Alashola, you can't tell me not to love somebody. They said they love me, and that's what I wanted. You're right. But I'll come to that. But usually, they don't need to have intercourse with you before they just start to work on you. All they need to know is, once they have your picture, you see, and they have a bit of information about you, then, that's a start. Then they will take that picture to whoever does good, very, very powerful stuff. Before you know it, you start to have this sensitive spot for them, when they talk to you, stuff that you never, maybe you are the kind of person, a no-nonsense kind of person, you wouldn't have even entertained. You're going to find yourself, being more, okay, maybe they want to do some certain stuff that you wouldn't have done before. You probably wouldn't even consider it before. Then, because of, that thing that are put in place, you start to find yourself compromised, with crazy stuff, some of them, the real one, they probably wouldn't ask you for money initially. They're probably going to, if they see that you are a big catch, they wouldn't, because if they think that they don't want you to flash that light, so some of them, they will actually initially try to buy you some stuff that they know you appreciate, and then so you're going to be thinking, oh, this is this can't get you actually, oh my God, and it doesn't even, oh, she just bought me this wristwatch, I mean, this is the first time a woman will ever do that for me, blah blah blah, or so from that time you have soft spots for them, and then from moving forward, by the time you fully butter the bread, say you guys have intercourse, thank you my brother, then that is full blown, so usually the way this thing pan out is, once they've done that, you start to send money, crazy money, that this happened to a lot of people, and most people will not come out to come and talk about it, because it's sort of shameful, kind of. They don't want people to see them in that light, as like, come on, they don't want people to think they are stupid, and it's not about being stupid, it's because you didn't know, so this festive time, I thought I would do this topic today. For me, the experience that I had, I will talk about my experience at this time. It's over 10 years now, the experience that I had. It was when my relationship, fell out, we went our separate ways. I mean, like I said, I've always been a spiritual person, but that was when my spiritual awakening really kicked in, so it was a very not tough time for me spiritually, because I, trying to, I'm kind of person that I want to find out about something, I would, put all my effort in it. That was when I was asking myself, what am I here for? That's, spiritual awakening. What's my, my real purpose, apart from me being a mother, a daughter to my parents, what else? There must be something else that I came here to do other than that. So for me, it was a very I don't want to call it bad time, because it was a time, like when you are growing, you there's something out there, and it's like a jigsaw. I try to find out where the missing pieces are, so me, I am that kind of person that I don't, until I'm convinced myself, until I see what I'm looking for. I don't just, it's not good enough you telling me this is how it's meant to be. No. I need to know, I need to see it, you see. So anyway, like I said, my marriage then broke down, Anyway, it was, the reason why the marriage was towards the end was also because I was not, it was not fulfilling for me anymore. It wasn't, it's nothing sexual. It wasn't, it's not that the sex was still good, but for me, it wasn't much more about sex anymore. I even then, before I got married, I'm the kind of person that relationship, having boyfriend, I get bored easily. Because why? I'm thinking, what next? What is it? Is this what all there is meant to be? We have a shy guy every day. I love you, go to work, rank up. That's all. No, I think my life should be much more than that. So I think majority of the reason why, I mean, obviously, it takes two to tango in any relationship. You see. So, but I also knew, and I'm more than, ready to admit my own side of it, which is that for me, the relationship was not fulfilling for me anymore. Like I said, it wasn't about paying the bills, or you guys are not having sex. No, no, because that we've been doing that. Then nothing. I just that emptiness. Anyway, we broke up. It was, I still like to think that we are friends because we are with the children. But nevertheless, after that relationship, I thought, okay, moving forward, I thought, so this guy that I'm talking about, that was when he came into my life. So I thought, okay, and the reason why I actually thought, because I'm not being proud here, but I'm not the kind of person that, that can, get swimming to stuff like that. I mean, I would look at it in different ways. I would push it, I would drag it, so anyway, but he came across as, someone that is spiritual like that, and that was, for me, that was a big topic there for me then. I was trying to find myself, so I thought, okay, this is the person, maybe that I'm meant to walk this path with, of my spirituality, because he is also Omoifa, he actually had a good, that's why another thing is, don't think anyone can want to do anything to you just because they are kings, or they are colonel, or they are president. Look, there's always, something out there. My own experience, this person that I'm talking about is a high, is in a high caliber kind of a position. Is in Nigeria Army, very powerful, not ordinary John Doe, walking down looking stupid. No. And not only that, and when we got talking, and it was, it was along my path, he knew a lot about Ifa, about spirituality, and also I love men that are quite, they know what they are doing, so, because for me also, to handle me, you're going to have much more than that, I can be quite, demanding, so he now sort of tick most of these boxes that I sort of, drew up for myself then, but then it just, all of it. So what I found out was, from earlier in the relationship, well, maybe I'll call it, now it's kind of crazy, but we're still friends, but not like that anymore. Not like a love relationship, not romantic relationship. You were just still friends, but I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened. And trust me, by that time, I already had my Ifa. I have my Ifa then. So it's not about not being powerful. Oh, no. You see? So that's what I'm telling you. It's just that when they know that you are kind of that powerful person like that, they will now go and find a stronger one of this, jazz. Because they know that you also, you are tough. So you're not someone that's just going to be, carried away like that. So by the time they slam down with you, if you're not standing properly, trust me, that's the end. Anyway, what I found out is that, obviously you like the person, but I just started having, thinking fast about stuff, about, getting married, I even thought about having more kids, then, and I already got my 3, can you imagine? And I just, the speed at which my feelings, my emotion sort of, went was out of this world. It got to a point that I thought, but by that time, this time my mom passed, and usually whatever that I was doing back home then, I usually send money to my mom. She'll be the one to in charge of it. When I was building my house, it was my mom that, she would, do stuff like that. Mommy, can you help me pay this, my builder, my bricklayer, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, when my mom passed, so he obviously is a colonel in Nigeria Army, so I just totally, so I would say, okay, let me just look, he's got his own house as well, and then usually, my builder, please, can you let me just stop over at my house and see what they are doing, if they've done everything that they are meant to do, from before I know it, he was not involved with the building part of the place, just to help me overlook it and just make sure that everything is fine. Then all I just found out was I wanted to change my gate. I found out that I started to, can he help me to do this? So from sending £1,000 to £2,000, £3,000, I was just sending the money, and then, which was never, and the reason why I today, that's why one of the stuff that I have, that I'm selling now, that I work with, is I purposely went out to make sure that this never happened to anyone again. Anyway, he obviously when you get there, he obviously has spent money, what he was meant to do, but that was not, the my bone of contention. Then sometimes when we would talk, he would say stuff like, "Oh, no matter how a woman is strong, a man is always stronger." He would say this out of, and we're not arguing. There was nothing about argument. I think he was slowly he want to be, I don't know, maybe reduce me or try to clip my wings, So, and I would say to him that, why are you saying this? There was no, so from that time, I did, psychology also, and I know, and I'm thinking, what brought that on? Anyway, it was a day he now called me himself. There was a big argument, and it wasn't an argument. It was when I made a pact with Omiorocks that, by that time we had intercourse, I think twice, and for me, it was boring, to be honest with you. It was the worst sex I've had in my whole life. It was totally no feelings for me. It was cold. It was also, even if you have used a vibrator, I probably would have, enjoyed the moment much more, So for me, I was thinking, what the hell, So, and don't forget, my spiritual, and also another thing that then was, he was always in competition with Omiorocks, because when each and every time that I would say, my house in Lagos, there's a big part of it at the front that I've actually, when I'm opening it, you'll see it's for Oshun, you see, so that people can come over there, treatment or whatever. So for me, that's Oshun, so every time I mention my mother, he's always, you can see it's almost as if it's in competition, and you say, oh, am I not meant to be the first in your life? It's before you. And I will say, for me, I'm thinking, how can you be first? How about my children? About my universe? How about myself? So this person, I could tell, the way things are working out, being conscious law, that is, obviously, he's not just saying it because of, it's almost as if he's confident that that's where it's going to be. So anyway, that was when, my Oreye said to me that for me to be fully seated, where I am meant to be, I must, abstain from any sexual activity. That, obviously it's not by force. If my sex life is much more important to me, then I could, or if I want to sit down and do what I'm meant to be doing, then that part of my life have to stop. You see. So obviously, for me, that was a crucial time, and also a time that gave me my freedom, that liberated me, that set me free, because then I just have to choose then, because there's no two way about it. Then I was thinking, is it with this kind of person that's already talking like that, and I could tell that it's using some jazz? Is it the one that or am I going to, is that the one I'm going to choose? Or I am going to this one, my purpose. My reason for me being here is to be it's a healer, to heal, Is that, now, this, my purpose is now calling me. Are you ready for it? Or are you going to put that aside because you want, to have a man there because of sex? So for me, I didn't have to think long at all, And I said to Omiorocks that, yes, I'm ready, mommy, I've had enough sex in my life to last me a whole lifetime. Trust me, I was a little devil while I was at it. So I thought, okay, my mommy, okay, there's no competition here. Mom, you won, I'm ready, you see. And I've never felt, from that time moving forward, I've never felt so stronger in my spiritual life, in my personal life, in my, both in my spirit, my soul. I just got, boom! It was like a rocket, So, and when I told him that, look, this is what's going to be happening now. I'm really sorry, but I mean, you can go off. I don't blame you, but that part of my life is no longer exist. That's it for the rest of my life. And at first he was, he was a bit grumpy. So what I said, look, I was determined. I said, because I have my children, and also this path that I'm, that's my my destiny. That's what I said I'll be coming here to do. You see, how, I mean, it was the most easiest decision that I had to make in my life. I just, I'm just so happy. In fact, from when I had that option, I just found this peace in my heart. Peace, contentment. I just felt like, oh, it was like, like, ooh, everything just fell into place, So when I told him, like I said, and he said, okay, maybe, if that cannot happen, everyone can be, go their own way, I said, all right then, Tara, So for 8 months, we went talking. He would occasionally text me, I didn't even reply. I was thinking, bye, good riddance to bad rubbish, So I was thinking, and then one day he called me, and so I picked up the phone, and he said, Shas, and he called me Yaoshun, that, that thing we spoke about the other day. I said, yes, what about it? And he said, you've been thinking that, I'd rather have you in my life, that he's come to agree that even if there's no sex involved, I still want you to be in my life, because don't forget, he has a wife, and he can still have all the girls out there, it's just that we can be friends, but anything like that, I'm not into it, So he said, oh, the 8 months, that he's missed me, that even he doesn't, the area that you're the only one that will tell me of when I've, been doing some stupid, everyone here said, Shansa, but you will say, oh, come on, you get out of here. He said, he'd rather be in my life, instead of being without me. That he just misses me being there, and I wouldn't pick up his call. I said, look, I'm not you're not my enemy. I don't hate you. It's just that this is my calling, and nothing is going to stop me, So for me, whatever just he had done before, or everything stopped. And also, it gave me a time to invest in myself spiritually, it sort of made me the person that I am today, you see. Because then, if you take that part of your life off it, then you are more able to look inward, into your soul. And all the answers are in us. It's not outside of us, you see. So I was able to spend more time with me, with the universe, with the mothers, with Oreyoshin. A lot of secrets that were never revealed to me before, everything they will bring for me, herbs, roots, stones, do this, bam, 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 my energy just went up, my frequency, boom, you see. I was thinking, oh my God, you wake up so energetic, strong, it's just beautiful, you see. So that's why I said I'll come and do this here today. That look, it's not about you, I'm not saying, don't go out there and find the person that will complete you, whatever you want to call it. But don't lose your soul because of it. Think of you first. Think of why you here. Is that part of your plan? If it is, then go ahead with it. If you haven't started to make changes, rapid changes in your life just because you knew somebody you newly met, you want to sit down and think that, look, why am I doing this? Because no matter what it is, even once they've cast a spell against you, There's that side of us, our intuition. It's still there. That will, maybe the voice, maybe, lower, but if you listen, it's still there. It would question us that, look, this thing that I'm doing, is it right? Or maybe we will say to you, this is not the way you should do it, You don't need to do this. But then, because of whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and say, that's how I'm going to do it. But that small voice there that's telling you that, look, do you really have to do this? Do you have to do this? But then we will now want to compromise with that, small voice that, yes, I have to. He loves me or she loves me, So if you haven't to compromise your feelings, your needs, who you are, because you want to please somebody, Eshema, then you want to think, carefully. This person that I told you that's happening recently, as we speak, I'm sure she's gone to meet him in Nigeria. And I can guarantee you, already before she left, this is someone that she's in a high power job. She's a professional post. You see, all of a sudden, she's broke. She's broke because every day she's sending money to Nigeria. Every day she's sending euro. You understand? It's stuff that, they'll change totally in front of you. So from someone that's organized, from someone that, in control of what's happening in their life, at least, to this person that's like a wreck. I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it. This happened right in front of me recently. You see, I found the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life. I'm like, what the hell? At what age? I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you barely knew the person. You were back home for 2 weeks. So during that 2 weeks, you found the person you're also going to, sell everything here, get all the money, and then someone's going to spend the rest of your life just like that. I'm saying, look, slow down. You see, this is too much speed. Whatever it is, if someone that, the reason why that is like that is, that's part of the script of these people, that they are involved in all these scams. Because what happened is, because they want to defraud you, they knew that they have limited time. You see, they usually, some of them would look, it depends, it depends on how rich you are or how successful you are, or, or how connected they think you are. So they would usually time themselves that this one, by the time I finish this one job, it shouldn't last more than 3 months, or 6 months. They all usually have a time scale. You see, and before that time, they want to, drain you, suck all of, life out of you. So, from the beginning, they're working with a script and voodoo, and they know that maybe they would have told them that, look, whatever you want to get from this person, you better do it quick. Because this is, because you're going to find out, he will wake up. And you won't be able to, you won't be able to get anything. So usually the speed at the beginning is usually very, and the way they will do it is they will show you this undying love. They're probably going to be calling you like 20 times a day. You think, oh my God, I've never seen this kind of love before in my life. No one has ever loved me like this. Oh my God, he even can. No, you think his love is no. It's controlling you, so that he wants you or she wants you to get addicted to him. You see, it takes 21 days for a human being to get addicted to something. If you drink Coca-Cola every day, straight for 21 days, by the 22nd day, if you don't see it, you feel like you want to die. Because you're already addicted to it. You see, and if someone is calling you 20 times a day, and they're giving you all this promise of love, every day for 21 days, and after that 21 days, they suddenly stop, bam. Then the table will now turn. Because you'll be addicted to them. You will not be the one doing the calling. Because imagine 20 calls a day for 21 good days. And text messages. And phone calls. And what have you. Straight. And by 21 days, they suddenly stop. And they know this. That's how it works out. They suddenly stop. They don't call that. They trust me. I don't care who you are. You would go and call them. Because you would, oh my God, you're looking at your phone like, flipping now. What the fuck is this guy? Why is he not calling? you're going to call him because, that's us. That's human. So, but usually, I know about we women, I don't know about men that, you feel, oh my God, I've never seen a man care so much. He's coming, we wake me up in the morning, breakfast time, when I'm on break at work, he's going to call me, and as soon as I'm packing my car, he's calling me, and then when I'm having my dinner, he'll make sure that I'm fine, and last thing before my bedtime, he's calling you. He wants you, it's your head. He wants to finger your head. He wants to drill into your brain. I want to put himself there. So that they don't have to cut your head into two before they put something in there. It's routine. It's psychology. You would come to, be addicted to them. If you don't see them, you'll be looking for them. And at that point, coupled with the voodoo, they will now start to demand from you. Don't forget, by now, you are used to all their love, all their fake love and fake everything. And, you can't just imagine your life without it. You're like, oh my God, everything else is, the whole world will be so boring. It will be like somebody died, because the only time you'll be happy is when you hear that voice. And once they know that they've gotten you where they wanted you, that's when all this demand will start to come in. Why did you pick up the phone? I've been calling you. What did you... I'm fine. That's the guy saying that, or the woman. I'm fine. You don't know what happened. He say his mom just died, or somebody had accident. As a matter of fact, in fact, he can't talk to you right now. They need urgently for serious operation. All the cost is coming out to £2,000 or $2,000. I know that if not, his mom's going to die and he doesn't know what he's going to do. He say, bye, we'll call the phone. You'll be thinking in your head that, oh, your God, this is the person for the past 21 days or 1 month. It's been the center point of your life. He's loving you, blah, blah, blah. You must be able to be there for them. They're slowly putting this in your head. You start to see this as a real relationship. You start to think that you found the love of your life. You think that's your mother-in-law that's in the hospital. For all maybe there's nobody in the hospital anyway in the first place. And then when you call them, they will now, you'll be the one chasing them now. You will call like 3, 4, 5 times. They're probably looking at the phone. Don't pick up. You will not pick it up on purpose, or she will not pick it up because she wanted you to miss him so much. He wanted you to, in fact, you have missed him so much that by the time maybe the 6th time when he calls and you now pick it up, you are so happy. You are so relieved just to hear his fucking voice. Oh baby. Until I'll be calling you. It's not even with his phone. The phone is somewhere, he's been disturbed, blah, blah, blah. Right now he's just looking for money all over the place. And I don't know if you can help. At that point, you're looking at the person that you love so much. There's so much pain. Someone they love is in the hospital. Blah, blah, blah. If you look, my dear, you go and find out $2,000. It works like magic all the time. And then your £2,000, you send it, with speed, with a Western Union, or maybe you want to do a MoneyGram, whichever way, just let it get there. And then from when you send the first one, you've only just started. Because they're going to take some of that money now to go and do more voodoo on you. You see. And then so the story will continue. You can now see the table has now turned. From them chasing you, to you now being the one chasing them. And you are not only chasing them with nothing. You are chasing them with your punani. You are chasing them with your money. You are chasing them with your love. Everything. You see. So, and usually, you hear stories about women that they put their house on mortgage, lost house, lost their jobs, reduced to nothing in between 6 months. It's not just, they're not stupid. People think, how can you have done that? How can you be a bozo like that? I thought you are a man. How can a woman just scam you like that? It's a man. But what's happened to him is, he's been scammed. That's organized crime. And these days now is working like magic, especially now where they count the ratio of women. Like they'll say, oh, where you have 2 men, you're going to have 10 women. So you have how many? So so there's surplus out there. That's where these people see it. There's surplus of beautiful out there, women that they are loaded as well, and they are looking for love. You just have to find one of them that is, as gullible, as you want her to be, and vulnerable, and then just throw the dice to her. She'll be rolling with it. You see, before you know it, if you're smart enough, you'll be a millionaire by the end of the year. Just find like 10 of them. That's it. You are made. You see. So that's why I said I'll come out here and then, I'm not saying that, now I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, Alashala, what do we now do? I haven't said that. There are still good men out there, trust me. And there are still good women out there. It's about us to not be too desperate. I think we should all, have, thank you, ma. We should all, have, everyone take their own portion of blame, because it takes 2 to tango, you see. That's where I see it. These people, if you are not, if whatever it is that we want to achieve, it's only the universe we should be open about too. It's not every day can hurry. Oh, I need a man, I need to remarry, my ex is thinking I'm going to be lonely, or I need a wife, oh, I need to find a woman that will love me, blah blah blah. And you go and say that beside someone that is going to set you up with somebody. You're a piece of cake. They don't see you as a human being. You're just a tool, a means to an end. You see, they don't think you are. In fact, they don't see you. My frame, they probably value it more than they will value you. You see, they don't, because from the beginning, from the go ahead, you are just a pound sign or dollar sign. That's it. You see. So when we are looking for something, for us to be, careful the way we go about it, not wear our heart on our sleeve or desperate to the extent that, there was a story I had yesterday about, a woman that this pastor was meant to have, used sexually. How can someone use it to have abortion, have sex with you, he got pregnant 4 times in 1 year, and each time he will tell you to go and do abortion, and you still go back to him with your punani. He will put his thing in it again and get you pregnant, and then he's going to tell you, no, you're going to use your money to go and do another abortion. Come on. You see. And then there was one that said, oh, yeah, the first guy, you met the guy at the dating site. Not bad. But how can you meet a guy today, and then you're going to tell the guy to drive down to your house that night? You don't know if he's a killer. So we women too, we should take our portion of blame from all of this that's going on. It's good enough, say, oh, they use it, but how about you? If you continue to put yourself, make yourself vulnerable, then that's not the end of it. Another one will soon come, and probably it's going to be as worse. You see, because when you someone that you meet a man, is already in your house that night from a dating site, it's a guy you don't even know nothing about. You see, before you know it, that night, your punani is already on the bed. His whisk is really out. Action. You don't even know who it is. So we should love ourselves more, and value ourselves, that we are mothers. Even young men, young women. We are all future mothers. You see? And we should try and, it's the way you carry yourself that, men, they are our fathers. Me personally, I have 2 boys that are, my sons, and a lot of my, fathers, in the spiritual, tradition. I love them so much, and majority are quite older than me. But you see the way they will treat me. Oh, our mother is here, Iyawa is here, yo. You see, it's the way you carry yourself. But you're gonna be sleeping with every Dick and Harry, and then something is gonna happen. And another thing is, there was one that she said she was giving the man. There was the first one, £6,000, £3,000. Altogether at the end, she wasted almost £20,000. Some women think that they can buy men, that you just have to, give him money, and he's going to love you. Look, in fact, that will even make you hate you. A man that don't love you and you think you're going to give him money, We know our men, we know our father, because already he's the one that's meant to be doing that. You've taken his ego away from him, and he's going to love you. No way. From when he's finished taking that money from you, he's going to throw you out of the house. Because Sheila, you see? So there's a lot of this thing as well that when I hear some, I'm just like this, you know, because you know, I mean, what's their path in this? You know, I want to tell you, one you want to be on their corner to support them. If you see the way they behave throughout the whole thing, it's shameful. You know, and I'm proud to come out here and say it. You know, we women, we should carry ourselves with more dignity, you know. And that's the way our men, our fathers, our brothers, our husbands, that's the way they would, you know, treat us. If you are constantly, before they say, hey, you know, England, your punani is outside. You know, your boobs is all over the place. You know, and then you're going to say, oh, you just use it for sex. Yes, and so fucking what? Pardon my language. You see, because that's where you want you to be treated. You see, so when you say, oh, they are doing this, they are doing that, you know, it's all good when, and some women, they just want to be victims. Or some men, oh, so they can come and say, oh, if you see what that man did. But when they are making that mistake, if someone has been there, look, slow down. They will say to you that, look, they'll tell you to shut up. You know, so thank you, man. I think, you know, it's a big thing out there now. You know, you hear all these stories of young women being used for money ritual, and men, it's not only, you know, all over the place, and it's not even young. Then you see the more older ones. I'm talking about, you know, early 50s, you know, 40s, you know, that think they should know a bit more. If you hear the way some of them would behave, you know, the things they would throw, they are, you know, giving man money, just, you know, giving money, that you can't buy love. You can't. You know, it doesn't mean you're going to give him all your money, then he's going to love you because of that. No. If he doesn't love you, he doesn't. He'll still take your money because it's also on the table. I will take it as well. So does that make him a bad person? He's not. You made yourself vulnerable. You see. Truth is bitter, but you will still have to say it. You see. And that's what I'm coming here to say today. I hope and I pray you know, we all enjoy this festive time. And it's such a special time to come together with family and friends. You know, like you guys know, I'm a spiritual being. I'm not a religious person, but you know, it doesn't stop me from enjoy this time of the year. As I will say, I was, you know, born into a royal family, and in there we celebrate all religion. You know, but then it's up to you to now pick the one that is your calling. You see, and that's my own Isheshe. That is traditional. You know, I'm the ancient ways. That's the one that speaks to me. Having said that, I'm not against people that are Christians or Muslim or whatever it is you want to be. It's your life. You know, whatever makes you happy. You know, if you feel that need, the soul. You know, then go ahead and do it. You know, so you know, I love you guys. I just hope that, you know, we women, we should you know, and men also, you know, it's not only women that it's happening to. Some men too, you know, they've been duped this way like that. You know, they will see a picture of a lovely, beautiful young woman, you know, and they will, you know, go in box, how are you, darling? Not knowing that it's not even a woman, that's just a picture of somebody. That actually is a guy behind that profile, you know. And so you're probably going to, you know, and you're going to think you're talking to a beautiful, sexy young female. And then, you know, when it's time for you to talk on there, maybe Skype or whatever you call it, you go and look for this young girl somewhere and say, come, there's a business transaction here. I've got this maga, you know, on my, you know, the guy is loaded, you know. Really? Yeah. What do I need to do? They say he's all the way in America. How is in London? You don't have. What do I need to do? Just speak to him. You know, tell him you love him. You may even flash your boobs. You know, and that's it. That's all you do, and he'll send $1,000 or £1,000. You know, and that's it. So once you see flashes, you know, the call is over. End of business. The guy will settle her. She'll go her own way. The guy will still be the one typing to you, and you will actually think it's the girl. No, you see. And some of them, they actually do it so worse that if you give them your credential, your whatever, your picture, they'll go and do voodoo. That you'll be pumping money like normal business. So it goes both ways here. Same thing that is, if you're looking for a wife, or don't be desperate about it. There may be a lot of women out there, but you want to find the one that's yours. The one that would, that will be there for you. That cares deeply for you. So it's not just you're looking for. It's not about quantity. You're looking for quality. Your own woman, and when you are doing that, imagine you want someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. Then take time to look for them. The rest of your life is a long time. You see, you just don't decide that it's someone that you meet in a month, and you say, I'm going to spend the rest of my life flipping. I'll tell you to piss off. So you see, so that's what we're going to talk about here. I love you guys so much. As you guys aware, I'm a spiritualist. If any of this that we talked about here, if it strike a chord, give us a call at Talashala. There are ways, the universe has been so good to us, or a lot of herbs, powerful one, roots that you would take bath, you would, some you drink. I'm telling you, no matter what it is, everything that I going to be on my website that I actually sell, I make sure that something that I've actually used myself. I can guarantee you see, because from the background where I come from, they are heavy duty over there. They don't joke with you. You see, so when they want to cast anything against you, it's usually very powerful, and so you're going to equally have something more powerful to take it off. You see, if that is someone that contact us at Talashala. If it's your private life, your personal life is not going well, give us a shout here at Talashala. Love you so much, ma. The universe has been so good to us. It didn't want us to come here and suffer, but it's the way we go about it. Some of the suffering in the world now, we humans actually created it ourselves. This is not the universe, you see. And then, so we should care more for each other, for the planet that we live in, the world that we live in. Try and live this place better than when we are living, better than when we met it, so that our children, the future, they will look back and say, yeah, you'd actually be proud of us. One day we will become our ancestor as well. Let's be a good one. Let's be the one that, our children, great, they'll be proud of us. Very, very proud, and say, yes, they did, beautiful foundation they've left for us. Not to look back and be thinking of flipping now. What fucking ancestor is that? I love you guys. I compliment of the season, and I'll see you. It's probably gonna be after New Year now. I've got my children at home. Children, no matter how big they are. My youngest is 14. So they are still all babies. Mommy. So cooking. I love you guys so much. Enjoy the festive period, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye bye.